Good day, everyone, and welcome to Different Stages Radio. I'm your host, JJ, broadcasting in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And on today's show, we have for you, all the way from Scotland, a vocalist, a multi instrumentalist, lyricist from the band Saor, who are about to release their brand new album, Amidst the Ruins, on February 7th on Season of Mist Records. Please welcome my guest, Andy Marshall. How are you, Andy?
I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for making time. How are things
Thanks.
today?
Yeah, nice and dark and cold as usual.
Damp.
Yeah, yeah, miserable.
Yeah, I think we often share similar weather systems being here on the West Coast, but we've been spoiled the last almost month with a lot of blue skies, and
Lucky you.
I think the driest January on record, which means now it'll probably be the rainiest February on record.
Yeah,
And
we just had giant storms, so that was fun.
oh, good times. But at least
Yeah.
the right time of the year to have them, I suppose.
Yeah, if there is a right time, but yeah, it caused a bit of chaos, but we're all still here and alive, so that's the main thing.
Knock wood. So, anyways, I'm going to get right into it. So here's my little thing that I would like to say to you first off is that I'm new to your camp. As far as I'm brand new. I wasn't there at the start where I know in the metal world it's crucial that you were there at the beginning. I was not, and I think that says a lot about your music. That when I was first hearing the lead off title track from Amidst the Ruins, because I'd heard the name and I'm now regretting that I never took the time because I'm always one of these guys that I want to be able to give things a proper listen and not just kind of let it fly by me. But when I'm soaking this in, I'm like, this is something special and unique. This isn't just another, you know, black metal inspired with some folk elements sort of thing. Um, and I thought, yeah, the title track is great. And then when the Sylvan Embrace single came out, I'm like, wow, this is phenomenal. So that led me into saying, okay, I need to do some more discovering of this band, and then reaching out to your label, Season of Mist, who are awesome. And as we are connecting today, for someone like myself who's just brand new to the band, what can you tell us about what you do and where you're at with Amidst the Ruins?
Well, I do all the stuff really, like apart from the strings and the some of the folk stuff. I basically I'm the sole songwriter of the band. It's a solo project I started, and along the way I've been um, working with guest musicians who have contributed uh, tin whistles, bagpipes, strings, all different kind of instruments. So yeah, that's basically what Sur is. It's you know. Uh, I don't know if I like to call it black metal. I'm a little bit, yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive to call it black metal
I appreciate that.
because I do come from a black metal background, um, and I still love listening to the genre, but I don't think a lot of cult black metal fans would maybe enjoy my music. It's a little bit too melodic, maybe. Some some bits are a little bit too let's say upbeat in sections maybe. So yeah, I don't really like calling it atmospheric black metal. I created a genre of my own called Caledonian metal, kind of tongue in cheek. Just it says it on the tin, Scottish metal, Scottish themed metal. So yeah, that's the kind of history behind it.
Well, that's what I appreciate that there's a lot of space, very organic, a lot of dynamics. It can get fierce at times, but then it can get very tranquil. And I just love the hills and valleys and how you build the composition. So that's where I was leading towards needing to discover more and knowing that the debut album was 2012, 2013.
2013, I think.
Yeah, so
I can't actually remember.
it's been a while, and yeah, so discovering that, yeah, you're the main writer, instrumentalists on the albums and you get guest musicians in. Now, when you're bringing in those guest musicians, whether it's on Amidst the Ruins or previous albums, do you already have kind of these ideas in mind as far as when it comes to the string sections of what you're looking for from them? Or are these players pretty much just given the freedom to kind of come up with their own parts?
Um, a little bit of both, I guess. For the strings for this album, Amidst the Ruins, I definitely asked for a more cinematic soundtrack type style, but in keeping with the themes of, the Scottish themes. Um, I've always loved movie soundtracks, so I'm a huge sucker for that kind of stuff. Lord of the Rings original soundtrack is like one of my favorite things ever. So yeah, I discussed it with the guys Angie, who was the composer of some of the strings. I discussed with her for a bit about what I was looking for, and we went back and forth on calls, and she sent some ideas over, and we eventually agreed on the final product. So yeah, when it comes to the folk stuff, it's a little bit different because I originally played this stuff like tin whistles,
Hmm.
and I programmed some stuff on the earlier albums, so I can play some of these instruments. But with Amidst the Ruins, we've got Ella, who plays live with us now. She's a multi-instrumentalist. She plays flute, tin whistle, low whistle, bagpipes, uilleann pipes. She does all these kind of folk instruments. So,
Or
I'm not,
it's
yeah,
cool.
well, I'm not like a professional folk musician. She is. So it's nice to have someone that knows what they're doing. So, I had some ideas when I was writing the demos of what kind of melody I'm going for.
Mhm.
Sometimes we used the melody, sometimes we changed it, sometimes we took the guitar melody out, she just replaced it with her own whistle melody. The bagpipes she created all on her own. The female vocals, again, it was just a huge discussion. I had ideas. She came up with ideas. We met in the middle, and that's kind of what happened in the end. So
Perfect.
yeah, it's very complicated.
But it works, but it works. But
Yeah.
then back to the second single, Sylvan Embrace, you have Joe Quail doing some cello on there. That was
Yeah.
that's some incredible playing on there. How did that line up? How did you get that?
Um, I've always really loved Joe Quill's music, and I went to see her at Inferno festival in Norway. Funnily enough, I was playing a metal festival in Norway, and I didn't watch any metal bands. I only went to see Joe Quill because I kind of got fed up of listening to metal that month, so I made the beeline for Joe Quill's show.
Good for you.
No disrespect to the other bands. It was
Oh yeah,
just
but yeah,
I was
you
at
need to separate sometimes.
yeah, I was in that kind of mood that I was like, yeah, I'm going to go and listen to something different. So yeah, but I discussed with her before this gig, before I actually met her in person. I emailed her. She worked with friends of mine, Winterfellith, an English band. Don't know if you've heard of them. She worked with them before, so I just was a huge fan of her work, and I just decided to email her. Asked her, would you be interested in contributing cello to this song? I sent her it. She really liked the idea, and she kind of transformed the song from what it was when I sent it to her. You know, it sounded a lot more basic, a lot more standard neo folk, if you want to call it that. And she added all this amazing cello in the background, all these effects, even the percussion sounds are her cello making those noises. It's not actually
That's cool.
um, drums, so she's very experimental, and I like that. And yeah, it worked really well, and we're really happy with the outcome. And she's awesome as well. Meeting her at Inferno, she's such a nice person, so it was a really cool collaboration.
Any chance you might get her on a live performance, maybe, or you still that's maybe a ways away?
Um, Maybe, yeah. I think if we do more acoustic shows, it's potentially an idea, but with the full live band, probably not because there's already five of us and crew, and it's a lot of money to even, do one gig. So
Yeah.
getting other people involved is a bit of a pain in terms of logistics and money and all that kind of stuff. So Yeah, the opportunity is there if you would be up for it when we do some more acoustic, stripped back shows. I'd really, really love her to play.
Yeah, definitely when it's more appropriate to the vibe. Now,
Yeah.
your touring band, is it a fairly stable band? Like it seems Carlos on drums has been with you for a while. Is it
Carlos joined last year, actually.
okay?
He played on Forgotten Paths, the
Yeah,
album from 2019, and I've spoken to him since like 2018, 2019. We had a lineup from 2015 when we started playing live till about COVID time, 2019, 20. We had pretty stable lineup, and then you know, things happened, people went other ways, and we had quite a few different people join the band and leave during 2020 and 2023 maybe 24, and this lineup's been pretty stable for the last 2 years or so. So I'm really happy. We all get on with each other. We're all professionals. We know what we're doing. So yeah, it's really hard to get that balance of, working with people you like to be around and that they're all so good at what they do and that they always put on 100% in the live shows. So that's all I can ask for. And yeah,
awesome. Because I was going to ask about it was this past November you did the Brainstorm Festival.
yep, yep.
How was that? Because it seemed
Um,
with Evergrey on there, I thought it was kind of neat to have some different bands on there.
yeah, that was it was a strange one actually because a lot of the bands on it were more melodic power metal type bands and than the style we play. So yeah, it's a cool venue. The promoter's really cool. We're actually working with him in 2 months' time. We're working with him. We're going out to the EU for 3 days. So he's a really cool guy, and the festival was really professional. We never got to see Evergrey unfortunately because they played the day after us. But it was a really good feedback and the crowd loved it and stuff. It was just it was the lineups, not really the kind of lineup we usually play with. As I said, it was quite power metal type bands, I think. Apart from Evergrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
Well, I think that's cool though because just for myself for a moment, I tend to lean towards more melodic bass bands, not maybe not necessarily power metal per se, but there are those things on the other end of the spectrum where I don't want to lump you two together at all, but yourself or Solstifier or Enslaved, those sort of things where I can lean towards that. And I find that a band like yourself can be kind of maybe a bit of that gateway to people that aren't sure about the other side, that
Yeah, yeah,
where there's still the like that progressive element, let's say, people that are into the, Opeth, let's say.
yeah, there's people that have come up to me at gigs and said, I don't really like metal music, but I really like your music. And you're like, oh, cool. I had an interview earlier and we discussed like what genre I would class Saor as. And I just said, I'm a music fan and I like making music. And I don't particularly go into writing an album saying I'm going to do a specific style. Now, I know the themes of Saor, I know what people expect, but when I go in to write something, I just try and do things naturally and is let things flow. I don't try and just go in and say, right, I'm making a black metal album, you know. Um, so that's why I always don't like saying we're black metal. I'd say we're influenced by, we have elements of black metal, but there's also elements of folk metal. There's also elements of, if you want to say it, post-rock kind of style. There's acoustic, the strings are very cinematic, so you could say symphonic elements as well.
Oh
And
yeah.
these are all things I like in music.
Yep.
I like music you can put headphones on and close your eyes and just be taken away from, that moment in time and to somewhere else. And that's my whole intention of you know, my music. And that's and the songwriting process is like that for me as well. See, when you write a really good part, you can just play it over and over and go, "Oh, right, this is so good. Like, I'm really happy with this." Uh, and yeah, I don't really like I don't really like putting tags on my music. I just like to write and see where it takes me.
I can appreciate that. It's a tough one because yeah, labels are the worst. However, you often need that little tag to kind of bring somebody in because they immediately want to know what's it like, but you don't want to say that it's just this, but you
Yeah.
sort of need that
So
label.
someone called us pop black metal once, and I said that's actually pretty cool. I like that. Like that's not
Yeah.
offensive to me.
With the symphonic and folk edge.
Yeah, it was quite
It's
funny.
not gonna
I think they expected me to like be offended, and I was like, "That sounds pretty cool, actually. That's a quite a cool combination of genres." But yeah, I really do like I do like black metal. It's what I grew up listening to. It was my kind of gateway into extreme metal. Um, and I'll always like that style, but I'm not particularly trying to write black metal music. That's why I came up with the tag Caledonian metal, obviously, just as a kind of fun way of saying this is kind of what you can expect, Scottish metal.
Good for
You know.
you. And then last month in Marseille, you did a special set in December. You did the Aura album front to back. Is that
Yep.
something that you've done before as far as doing an album front to back? And if so, do you enjoy doing that kind of thing?
Um, well, we've never done like an anniversary type gig. We've played albums like the full albums, but that was just when they were released. So yeah, Aura was kind of the album that was probably the most popular album. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't particularly like the production on it, and some of the performances I don't really like, but that's another story. But I think the songs are very strong. I think they are some of my best songs. So yeah, it was interesting to play them live, and we don't play them exactly like they are on records. We play them like we play the in the band now like a more I don't know. I would say like Aura's quite chaotic. It's quite all over the place, and this is a bit more
Refined?
focused, yeah, refined way of playing these songs. But everyone seems to enjoy it. They love the album, and it was cool. It was cool to play it, and we didn't actually play it from the start to finish. We actually started with the last song because we thought it was a cool opener. The song "Pillars of the Earth" starts with toms and it's quite a long intro, so it worked to walk on stage and then hit out with the song instead of going straight into the
Right.
first song. So yeah, it was fun. But it's not something I can see us doing quite a lot. We're going to be playing Amidst the Ruins full album from now until, you know, who knows how long we're going to play this. Brand new set, so I'm looking forward to doing that.
And you have an album release show in your homeland next week, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've just reminded me I have to rehearse now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's in
Going after
Glasgow.
me done.
Yeah, I've been picking up the bass and jamming out the new songs, and I get a little bit paranoid about playing new stuff, and I'm playing through the songs perfectly, and I'm like, what am I panicking about? I wrote the bloody music, so I should I should know how
Just
to
more
play it.
pressure, though, more pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's going to be good. It's in Glasgow, so it's going to be a good night. Its ticket sales have been really good, and we don't play a lot of Glasgow shows, so it'll be cool.
Good for you. And you have worked with, I was going to bring up one of your label mates, Crippled Black Phoenix. You contributed to the song The Reckoning, correct?
No, nope, nope,
I thought you were a part of that. No? Am I
nope, nope,
mistaken?
nope,
Nothing with Crippled Black Phoenix.
nope.
Well,
Nothing with
we'll
him.
move that. Before I thought there was a credit in there for you somewhere doing a solo or something, but maybe you were sleeping. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe
Maybe
they
somebody's
just they credited me for the silence at the end of the album. No, I wasn't involved in that band.
Okay, but this person has been involved who's on the new record, Matthias Eklund. Not to be confused with the guitar shredder Matthias Eklund, correct?
Ooh, I have no idea. I don't know a lot about that band, um, to be honest.
Matthias working on your album. No? I believe
Um,
see some credits. He's worked with Devin Townsend and Meshuggah.
oh, for the mastering.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that's yeah.
that could be
He
okay.
mastered the album. Yeah. I get you know.
Okay.
I was a bit worried there. I was like, have I been in this?
I was starting to worry too.
Did I actually play in this album?
Am I talking to
Um,
another band? Is this
yeah, he mastered the album, so he did a really good job as well. It was very quick and very efficient, and very happy with the result.
very good? Maybe just before we go, then, for people that are just starting to get into yourself like I am, you mentioned how Aura is a big album to people. Where would you maybe recommend somebody start? Of course, you want people to get everything, I'm sure, but where would maybe be a good leaning point?
I mean, it really depends what you're looking for because the earlier stuff's a bit more raw, a bit more chaotic in terms of the playing and the production, and it's not as it, I don't like to say polished. It's not as professional sounding as the later stuff. I'm obviously going to say listen to the new album as a gateway, but people would probably say Aura, Forgotten Paths maybe as a good starting point, and then you can just you know, you know what? Start from Roots, the first album, and just work your way up.
Then you follow the path. There you go.
Then, then you forgot. Yeah, exactly. Then you follow the path to writing on albums you never knew you were on.
You got me there. Now, so there's multi formats of the new album, correct? There's a few different colored vinyl coming as well as the disc, correct?
Yep,
Where can people
yep.
get product? Where how can we connect to you to buy product?
The best place to go is the Season of Mist store. They've got the all the stuff on there. They've got some new t-shirt designs as well. If you're in North America, they've got a North America store as well. So they have an EU and a North America one. If you're in the UK, you're best going to like Plastic Head or EMP UK or somewhere like that because the shipping is quite expensive now for us from the EU. So yeah, I advise you to go there if you want to pre-order the album. And obviously there's Bandcamp, but that's based in the US as well. So definitely go to the Season of Mist website and you'll get all the records and CDs and merch.
Perfect. And you mentioned North America. Any chance we might see you on these shores sometime in 2025?
Well, I had a discussion about this earlier, and Canada, yes, definitely. Like we're
Oh,
interested in playing Canada, and we've been in discussions about playing in Canada. We've already played Canada twice, in 2019, but we would like to do like a tour, at least a couple of days anyway, in Canada. So yeah, that's definitely one of the plans. US, no chance we play in the US because of the visa fees are just crazy.
ridiculous.
It's the last time we went, I think we spent like 10 grand or something like that to go to the US and we only broke even, you know, and you have to go for all these interviews and yeah, it's just a total hassle to go there. So I highly doubt we'll ever be back there unless it's playing on 70k tons. We played there in last January
Mhm.
on the cruise ship. That was the only chance we really got to play, and that's not really in the US, just leaves from the US. So yeah, it's a shame, but maybe one day things will change and it'll be easier for artists to travel to the US.
But Canada is hopeful for 2025. It's looking pretty good.
Yep, Canada is. Yeah, Canada's a lot easier to play in, obviously. So yeah, hopefully maybe next year we can arrange something maybe later this year, next year sometime. We're still in the early talks with some people, but I'm hopeful that we'll come back.
Looking forward to it. I would like to see you finally. So I appreciate you very much taking the time, Andy Marshall from Saor. Be sure to check out Amidst the Ruins coming out on February 7th on Season of Mist Records. You can find direct links on differentstagesradio.com to purchase the album. You can also, like you said, check out a Plastic Head in the UK. You can check out Season of Mist shop throughout Europe and in the US store. You can also, once again, you have Bandcamp. And you had a Bandcamp just before we go listening party a couple days ago. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's weird. It's a weird thing now having online listening parties and stuff, but it was cool. I think 250 people were on it, which was really nice. And everyone had really good feedback. There was no negative feedback. It was all just really positive, and Yeah, it's nice to see people are enjoying the album. You never know what to expect when you release something, and it's nice to see positive stuff. So I'm really happy with it. And I hope everyone enjoys it when it's released next week.
Amidst the Ruins next week on Season of Mist, February 7th. We got Andy Marshall from Saor on Different Stages Radio.